How loud does this sound if I sip my coffee right here?
I was right, that is mostly water.
That's going to be the, intro to the video.
You know that feeling when your tasks are all over the place? Some in a to-do list, some emails you need to take care of, something in a project management app, meetings on your calendar, messages in Slack. Honestly, it's overwhelming at times. Our brains weren't built for this level of work being thrown at us from all directions. Sunsama pulls in tasks from everywhere in one place, so you don't have to worry about it. You just look at your list for the day, plan it accordingly, and Sunsama will even prompt you when you plan more than 7 to 8 hours of work, so you know when to stop. If you relate to having your tasks all over the place and being overwhelmed with all there is to do in a workday, check out Sunsama.
Welcome to the first podcast episode of How to TechTube. My name is Spencer, and this is...
My name's Hunter.
We started this channel, and I was thinking it was going to be just videos that we made with helpful tips and tricks, just to basically do what we're doing, because that's all we really have the credibility to teach, is what we're doing and what we're not doing, I suppose. But Hunter loves podcasts and wanted to do a podcast, and so it just made sense to make this into a video podcast.
Here we are.
Here we are. Wow, we have 3 cameras, and wow, we might have gone overboard. It's gonna look really good though.
Hopefully it looks good.
Something I promised in the first video on the channel was no fluff. So should we just jump right into the topic?
Yes.
All right. We asked AI to make us questions, but we don't really like many of them. So I think I'm just gonna start talking, and you interject whenever.
Okay. You can just tell me.
I can tell you?
Yeah.
Okay, so the topic of this is what you should be getting paid for your work, basically. I think there is a place to do work for free when you're just starting out. I myself used to do this. I think we probably all have if we're smart.
I actually never worked for free. I just worked for $50.
Okay.
But that's still
So basically free.
Basically free, but it gave that person skin in the game.
Which is also smart.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, yeah.
And I think starting out, you're like, wow, I got paid to do that. Which is kinda cool.
My first wedding was $100.
You never worked for free.
I mean, I work some gigs where I work extra for free, but I still get paid a sum of money.
Okay.
I've done work for friends for free, I guess. I've designed a logo here or there, but...
So, yeah, that's really interesting. I think I guess we've had 2 different kind of backstories when it comes to professional creative work. I never wanted to do weddings or family stuff. 1, because I'm awkward with people, and 2, because I never wanted to mess up someone's wedding. Whoops, wasn't recording, or my card corrupted. Sorry, there went your big day. That always scared me.
Yeah, I have a unhealthy amount of no scare towards weddings, so
you gotta have that.
That's less stress. Then you can charge more. So confidence.
Wow.
But I will say I have a YouTube channel and I do that for free. So that's a point.
Yeah. And I think I dove into doing work for companies and stuff. And I think when you go to a company and say, I can do this for you, you got to have something, and I think you can for instance, if you're offering a product photography shoot or a video shoot, you can just find something around your house and make something cool and then show that to a brand or company when you're first starting out. But
borrow your friend's Apple Vision Pro.
That's right. Yeah.
Start at the top.
That's right. And yeah, but you're technically working for free,
That's
which
true.
it's a fun creative project. But I think that's the thing is, Wow. That's sort of how I start. And there's a place for doing that when you're starting out because you don't have a portfolio and you can't just go to someone and be like, I'm going to make you something awesome. And they're like, okay. And then expect them to pay you for it without any examples, for instance. But I think the big thing of this topic today is I see so many amazing content creators who are just working for free, meaning getting free products sent to them, which is fine. Like, to this day, if we find a really cool like coffee machine or something and we just personally want it for like the studio, we might do it for free just to get the free product. But I don't know, it's this game of like, will the content bring in affiliate sales so that we can lower our flat fee or waive our fee? I just think I kept talking to more and more creators who, yeah, like their Instagram profiles and stuff and like their videos are so good. And I would be like, yo, you know, how much do you get paid for that if you're willing to share it? And they'd be like, oh, nothing. You know, they just sent me the whatever, the phone charger. Yeah. And I just think this world of like affiliate marketing and like influencer marketing is still so wild, wild west where brands don't fully know what they should be paying. And they hear they could, in a sense, take advantage of creators because they don't know what they should be getting paid. And so I think my biggest point is like, I think creators of any size can like charge for stuff or get free stuff sent to them so they can start building that portfolio. I mean, we're finding it. We started our reviewed channel.
I say we're under 100 subs and get paid for shorts.
Yeah. Which is wild. And I think like we have the main channel, which in my opinion still isn't anything crazy, like almost 18,000 subscribers, which to some people, me 5 years ago, I would have been like, whoa, I wish. But I mean, relatively, it's still pretty small compared to 100,000 channels, million subscriber channels. So we do have that kind of like parental backing of the larger channel to pass stuff on and get inbound from companies. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think brands are mostly looking for?
I feel like I see this on YouTube all the time, like small channels that get pushed by the algorithm. Mm-hmm. So I think maybe brands are realizing like
they're catching on.
Yeah, they're like realizing, oh, I don't necessarily need some, like it helps to have someone with a bunch of views, but oh, maybe I can get someone who just does good content, and then it'll get picked up if it's good content because YouTube is really pushing that. And like, if you have a good thumbnail, people are going to click it if they're interested. So, honestly, you could have really terrible content and just have really good thumbnails and you could probably still make some money. But
yeah,
my guess is that's a lot of what brands are doing now.
Yeah.
They're like seeing these people who are like our 100 subscriber channel. It's like, we've got a couple videos over 1,000 views and we've been running it for like 3 months. So
yeah, and I've heard from experience like agencies and brands saying like obviously they want exposure via your audience or whatever. So if you have 100,000 subscribers, that has value in it, just getting their product in front of you, in front of your followers. But I think too, if you're good at creating content, I mean, there's a huge market for just user-generated content. Like a brand sends you a product, you film yourself using it or whatever and send it back to them. You don't even publish it anywhere.
Yeah.
But they appreciate that quality.
Yeah. I don't know if we want to get into this quite yet, but yeah, we were just talking about it this morning about all the different avenues of like what we can offer, which one of them is the YouTube video, but it like it expands past just a long form YouTube video.
Yeah. I think it's a good practice to sit down and be like, what publications do I have that people's eyeballs go to? So if you have a newsletter, even if it's like 100 subscribers, like that's 100 people and they're very attuned to what you're sharing. That has value. Even like description boxes of like YouTube videos, like people go there to look for links and stuff. So like there are different places you can place ads and each will have different value, of course. Like I think most brands that reach out to us, they obviously want like a dedicated long form YouTube video. So that's kind of like the cream of the crop, if you will. But, shorts content is so popular now that a lot of brands will just want that, or will be okay with that as like a second. I also think YouTube's an interesting one, and we'll probably have another episode about like my affinity for YouTube specifically, because it has been and still is like a social place, more like a media outlet or whatever. I don't know what you want to call it. Like a streaming service almost, that is like highly searchable, and people will like find that content forever, like the long form stuff.
Yeah. YouTube's like the third largest website in the world.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we'll put out a video, and like in a year we can still make a sale off of it for a brand. And I think that has so much value. And I think there are some brands that realize that. Other brands want just like immediate views and immediate sales, which is fine too if they have some agenda of like making big pushes to meet deadlines or something. But I think something I've been trying to teach brands, at least with our channel, is they do well over time with sales and views, and they'll keep, depending on how good your metadata is and what people are searching for, even in like Google search, your videos can pop up. So there's just a value there where like TikTok and Instagram, like you can find old content, but it's more like very recent, flash in the pan, like tons of views get thrown at it, and then it just kind of dies on the vine.
yeah, I think on YouTube that's like where shorts live. It's like an initial boost and then gone.
Yeah.
But you get a large initial boost. So, and you can get a large boost from like one subscriber, which could be like your mom.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's the thing too. Yeah, and I think social media in general does kind of a good job of that ish. Like they will feed it to some people and see how it does, and if it does well, it doesn't matter how big your channel is, it can blow up. Which can be good or bad. I think showing brands consistency too, and your ability to post content and all that kind of stuff matters too.
yeah, if you've been posting like a video a week or a video every 2 weeks for like a year, like that to a brand is going to be like, okay,
Yeah,
you're like
serious about it.
Yeah, you're not just going to drop the ball.
Yeah, because I think too, there's like terminology for like size of influence nowadays too, like micro and macro and
Yeah, my Instagram,
nano.
I'm a nano influencer.
That's wild. Yeah, and like I'm saying, like there's value in each of those. Like a brand might go after nano influencers.
Yeah, I had one company who was sending me a cool pen, and they were specifically nano.
Yeah.
They were like, we're just looking for very tuned in audiences. So
Yeah. There's something to be said. Yeah, I think the thing with our main channel is I don't know how much of like a tight audience I have, because I've reviewed and done so many different things with the channel over the years.
yeah,
I think we're starting to really build more of like an actual following, because we like put our foot down and say we're tech review.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Some brands and like influencers have like a really tight, like, if you are a mom and you just have a bunch of mom followers, like that is a huge thing for brands to go
Here's
after.
some free baby stuff. Please review it.
Yeah.
We'll pay you.
So anyway, it's just like a burden on my heart that to us it's so funny, and it feels weird to me that we can just email a brand and say, will you send me your expensive product? And they're like, sure, and they just send it to you.
Yeah, like I think that right there, just asking, like, what's the worst someone can say?
Yeah.
Sorry, no, I won't send that to you. Okay, I'll ask you later. And then it's like, people, they're not gonna like be butthurt that you ask them. So
Right. In fact, they might. A lot of times, brands will be like, "Hey, we don't have the budget for this right now," or like, your channel's a little too small, but like you're just kind of putting your foot in the door and networking.
Yeah.
And like, say you come back half a year later and you have a couple hundred more subscribers or something, they might be like, "Oh yeah, sweet, yeah, let's do something."
Yeah, and they may just not have they may have like, for example, I just reached out to a company that was like, hey, sorry, we're not looking for a photographer right now, but actually in like 3 months we're doing a new batch.
Yep.
And since you emailed, go ahead and email us again. We'll go ahead and send you some product. And it was like, okay, sure. So yeah.
I don't know. Moral of the story, I think, is like, just ask. Maybe that's the episode title, Because, I just think there's so many companies, they have budgets, even if they're small, they can work with you on that. And I don't know. I think the next step after just asking to work with brands is asking for them to pay you, because at the end of the day, if you take 2 hours to make a really nice video, like that's worth something.
Yeah, and like say they pay you, $200 for a video. Like if you look at it hourly, you just made $100 an hour. Like that's actually pretty good. So.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think too, like I said, Wild Wild West, because it's not just like your like creative, like commercial brand.
Yeah.
You're kind of that, and you have an audience that you're building too. So you can kind of play around with what you charge, because you're giving them content they can use maybe, but also you have your audience you're putting in front of, so you can raise the price there. And as your audience grows, you can charge more. I mean, that just kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
So, well, yeah, moral of the story, just ask.
Yep.
Reach out. Try to price yourself. If you don't know what to price yourself, you can ask others, or I've found the creator community to be pretty cool. If you just DM someone about your size and be like, are you charging? How much are you charging?
Yeah.
It's really helpful. Or, find some cool bros locally like I have.
That works.
Figure it out together. But that's going to do it for this first podcast episode. I guess it's technically the second episode of How to TechTube.
Yeah. First podcast episode's a good way to put it.
Okay.
Yeah.
He knows better than I do. Thank you, Hunter. Is it going to be you and me every time?
It'll be you and me and maybe Josh. Josh wants to get into
we're
podcast.
Co-hosts.
Yeah. We can kind of.
I love it.
Yeah.
Why don't you take us out?
All right. Well, hey, thanks for watching this video. You're going to really like this video, which is our first video, probably, unless you're watching this in like a year. I've got it on this camera in front of me, but you're going to like this video, which I don't even think YouTube, you can put it in the middle. Maybe. You're going to like this video that's hovering over Spencer's face. I think you're going to enjoy it. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We're going to do this I'm going to say at least twice a month. I'm not going to promise to more than that, but maybe once a week. I don't know. You have to subscribe to find out.
There you go. We'll see how often Hunter wants to make this setup.
Yep. It took a minute, but hey, leave down in the comments if you like the podcast setup, and we'll see you guys next time.
If there's one thing you want to avoid as an ambitious professional, it's burnout. It's real, folks. Everyone suffers from some degree of it, especially nowadays when the lines between work and life are so blurred. Sunsama helps you prevent overwork and overwhelm. How? They have this unique daily planning flow that prompts you when you plan more than 7 to 8 hours of work each day. That way, you're able to bump back tasks that are not essential and only work on the stuff that matters. It's amazing, and over 8,000 people use it every day to prevent burnout. Click the link below for a free 30-day trial using our link.